Hi, this is Rob, one of your FSCJ Adult Education Academic Tutors, and today we are going to talk about integers. So the first part of integers is what they are, and integers are positive numbers, negative numbers, and zero. So they are the numbers we count and add and subtract with. What is not an integer? Decimals are not integers. So if you have a number like 3.5, that is not an integer because of that 0.5 part of the 3.5. Fractions are not integers. So 2/3 or -4/5 are not integers. So integers may be thought of as existing on a number line, such as we have here on this graph chart. We go from -12 to +12 on our particular number line. However, note the arrows on the extreme left and extreme right ends of that number line. That indicates the number line extends infinitely in both directions. So when we compare integers, we look at how far left or right they are on a number line. For example, if we are going to compare -7 to 5, if we look on the number line at where -7 is, and we look at where +5 is, -7 is far to our left of the +5, therefore it is less than 5. So we would write our less than symbol in, which we remember the greater than less than symbol. The arrow points to the smaller number. The open end, such as you might imagine an alligator, is going to eat the bigger portion first. We can also compare -11 and -3. So -11 and -3. While we note both are to the left of 0 and thus are less than 0, they have a negative value, -11 is far to the left of -3 and therefore is less than -3. Now we can look at -3 and -4. And we will place them on our number line. And note -4 is to the left of -3. Therefore, we would note -3 is greater than -4. And that is comparing integers. So now that we have compared negative and positive integers, we are going to look at ordering them. And we are going to take a random set of numbers, starting with 12, -7, -8, 10, and -3. So now we will find their corresponding plots on the number line and then write them in order from least to greatest. So now our order becomes -10, -8, -7, 3, and 12. And now we have ordered them from least to greatest. Note the process is the same as comparing greater than or less than. We just have a number of numbers and therefore are ordering them instead of just comparing them. So now that we have talked about integers and where they lie on the number line and how we compare them, let's talk about how we know whether or not a number is positive or negative. If you notice here, we have a set of numbers, -12, 3, -1, 10, and 0. So we know 12 is a -12 because it has a minus sign written in front of it. If we were to combine like terms, which we will do when we get to algebra, we would note that is a subtraction sign, but it is a -12. We note the 3 does not have anything written in front of it, but we understand there is actually a tiny plus sign written in front of and high up on the number. Like that. We do not have to write the positive sign for a number. We understand it's positive. But to indicate negative, we have to write the sign because we understand a number without a sign is positive. And 0, while it is part of our set of integers, is neither positive nor negative because it is 0. But it is part of the set. We just do not need to write a sign for it. So the last thing we are going to discuss today as part of integers is absolute value. Absolute value can be thought of as distance from 0 and as we recall, distance is always a positive number. We cannot be a negative distance from something. We can be above it, below it, to the left of it, to the right of it, north of it, south of it, east, west, but we are always a positive distance. So absolute value is given as a set of vertical lines around the number. So if we put these lines and then write the number 4, we are mathematically calling for the absolute value of 4. The absolute value of 4, or the distance from 0, is 4 because you count 4 spots over from 0. The absolute value of -4 is also 4 because you count over 4 from 0. And that is how we represent absolute value. Whenever you see something in a math problem with 2 lines around the number, that is calling for absolute value and is only asking you how far from 0 it is. This has been our lesson on integers. Thank you and keep learning.